Hello and welcome to Real Estate Talk. I'm Nacho Yanez.Realtor, your realtor, and welcome to these videos. The first thing I want to say is introduce me very briefly, and with me is Derek Menzies, and he will introduce himself as well. So I'm Nacho Yanez. I'm a real estate broker. I'm also a loan officer with US Financial networks. And I've been in real estate for almost 10 years, and I have my own company, Homes Chula Vista, from the last 3 years. I also have an MBA. And we have with us Derek Menzies. So we introduce yourself briefly.
How you doing? I'm Derek. I have been working with Nacho for a few years now. I'm kind of been shadowing him, kind of as an apprentice, and he's been teaching me along the way. I was, studying to get my license eventually, so I'm in the process now, of just learning and stuff. So my perspective is more from, the person who's getting into it, and he's more of the go-to guy as far as knowing information. He's been working at it for a number of years now, so I've been learning a lot from him. So I guess we'll be talking, informally and stuff about different real estate topics. And he'll say, he'll give all the information, and here and there I might chime in just to ask a question, for clarification with different things. That's all.
Mm. Yeah, so what we're gonna start talking about now about real estate is not a course. I'm not a teacher. This doesn't substitute. If you're interested in getting a real estate license, by all means, please contact there's online academies, presential academies, and this is more like a conversation between Derek and myself. He will chime in with clarification on his own views. I'll have my own views, and this probably helps you. We will offer a very more informal, very down to earth, and based on everyday reality of having a real estate company and our own opinions. Okay, so yeah, the first in this first introduction, we're just gonna talk about okay, what is real estate and what are the very few fundamental things about it. And if you want to go in a profession on real estate, what's the kind of things that you will have to see? So real estate basically, of course, is buying and selling houses, but also land and anything that is on top of the land comes with it, and also underneath the land. So that's the simple definition. Is very wide. There's also like sellings and sales and rentals and so on. But I'm going to mention three things that for me are the essential. First, of course, is buying and selling. It is the economy. So in the economy, first of all, here in the US, we have what is called a free market economy or capitalism. That means that because of the Bill of Rights that we have, everybody has the right to buy or sell property and set up freely the prices that they want. That's why it's called as a free market. It's not controlled by the government in that sense. So because of that, it obeys what is called the supply and demand rules of the market. And supply and demand is for everything, it's not just a thing on houses or real estate. The supply is from a certain thing, and I'm gonna use an example with uh, for example, eggs. You have supply of the eggs, how many eggs are in the market, and demand is how many people buying eggs are needed. And that supply and demand will determine many things. For example, prices. So if you have lots of supply, and imagine really many eggs and not that many people. Well, the people selling eggs, you need to drop the prices to accommodate to that and be competitive on your price. So in the opposite, and one word, this is all about words that is good that you're familiar with because they're going to see it more. Inflation is when the price of something goes up, and normally it's because something with the supply and demand. In the case of eggs, recently here, at least here in California, we have seen that the price of eggs has gone through the roof, and the reason is because the demand is the same. People still, if you like eggs for breakfast, you're still gonna be liking eggs. But if you go to your supermarket or wherever you go to buy, what happens is that there was an a chicken flu, and a lot of these chicken had to be sacrificed, and they could not lay eggs. So there was less supply of eggs. And when you have less supply, of course, for the same demand, prices go up, and that is what's called an inflation. So now, talking more about terms related to real estate. So one of the things, the supply, is called house inventory. So it's the amount of houses or land or that is available in a certain market. Um, that marks also the median home prices. So it's the like of course you have bigger houses and smaller and different areas, but just the price that is there in the middle, that's the median price. That's we use it as an indicator to see if a market in a market the prices in general are going up or down. So that's a term that you also want to know. And as opposite, like similar but opposite for inflation, uh, this appreciation is a term for real estate. Appreciation is over time how much the value of your real estate grows, and it tends to grow because of cities get bigger, more people living on them, and the overall costs go high. So normally, you would expect that instead, unless there's a big crisis or something, prices of real estate is as opposite of, I don't know, X that may go up and down. Uh, um, Prices are more stable, and you have a over time, a certain appreciation. On the other side, on the side of the demand, one word very important is the housing affordability. And that is a comparison between what is the income, the money that people has to is making compared to the average price of those housing. If the income is good enough, you have high affordability. Most of the people will be able to buy, I don't know, single family residence or so. In the other situation, and for example, what we have in San Diego these days, the affordability is very low because the amount of money that people will have to make to buy like most of the homes, because the median price is like more than $1 million. Then that means that the affordability is lower, and that's important as well. Other factors, of course, the unemployment. When there's a lot of unemployment, people doesn't have money to buy well, many things, including real estate. And also the other things is because normally most of the people will not have cash to buy a property unless you have another bigger property first or something. You're gonna ask for a mortgage, a loan, and then the interest rates is a very important factor as well that influences in the demand, because if the interest rates are high, people is going to qualify for less amount, so they will not be able to afford the more expensive houses. The interest rates are something that it's fixed by the Federal Reserve, that is like the America's central bank. That's not on the supply and demand, but it influences in the supply and demand, and they fixed it to control the inflation, so prices don't go up too much, and also to keep an eye on the unemployment. So that influences the economy, but has a big effect in the housing economy as well. So that's the. This is going very fast. I'm just mentioning words here that we will see later in more detail. Um, the second thing I wanted to talk about is laws. So in real estate, because of it's very important. It's probably one of them for most of us, is the most important thing that you're gonna buy in your life. So it's very important that it is fair. So there's several federal laws and state laws here in California, for example, the fair housing laws, etc., that make sure that there are fair transitions, that nobody's taken advantage of, and also there's no discrimination. So that everybody, there's several protected classes. We will talk about that in the future. But nobody is taken advantage or is discriminated because of skin color, gender, religion, a lot of the several things. Okay, and yeah, that's why when you have a real estate contract, even for things that you can say, that's simpler, more smaller for like a manufactured home or so, the contracts are very thick. There's lots of pages to fill in. So Derek, you have gone through that. So can you tell
Yeah,
us?
but both as a fairly recent home buyer when I went through that process, and then also the process of studying the books to get my license. Uh, I was just so surprised at um, how much the consumer is protected. Like I used to get intimidated by like like you were saying the contract being thick, a lot of papers. It almost feels like as a suspicious buyer, it's like what is this? They give you all this lingo you don't understand because they're trying to take advantage of you somehow, and you won't be able to protect yourself. And it's between the fiduciary duty of your
Hmm.
agent, and then also just the laws that have built these documents to the way they are. It's amazing how much uh, the customer is protected. It's really impressive. So anyway,
Mhm.
that took me off guard. Yeah.
Well, you mentioned one of the most, if not the most important words for a real estate agent, which is fiduciary duty. Some professions have fiduciary duty. I think I'm not a lawyer, but I think lawyers have fiduciary duty as well. That means that as a real estate agent, if you have fiduciary duty, you need to look for the best interest of your client, your buyer or seller. You need to do what they ask you to do. You need to keep confidentiality of their things. So you're basically negotiating for them and making sure that you are defending, protecting their interests at all times. And that is that is very important as well because yeah, there's lots of documents. You as an agent, you have to explain, be make sure that they understand what they are signing, and there's no confusion, and they are going or negotiating or signing what they really agree with. Um, and that brings me to the third and final point, which is okay, if you want to pursue the real estate profession in the state of California, what would you like, what you have to do. And this depends on the Department of Real Estate. And to be a salesperson or later a broker, like in my case, you need a license from the department. And the license, you will have to take courses and make an exam because they want to make sure that you know what you're talking about, the minimum terms. There's also background checks. They want to make sure that you have integrity. You're gonna have to have fiduciary duty to your clients. So they take it really. This responsibility is really important. And of course, we have continuous education, and they're gonna keep an eye on you. So in California, you have the real estate department taking care of all that. They have my license. I have to do my continuing education and everything else. And if you want to go in that profession, you can, apply for that, apply for academies that do the courses, and then pass the exam and so on. So yeah, the system is very robust. So people is, as you said, anyway, where people that do frauds or bad apples, they're everywhere, and you always every day we have to be, get better and better and make sure that nobody's taking advantage of. All right. So, well, that was a lot of information, but this is just an introduction, a brief intro for the kind of things that we're going to talk in the different videos. And if you like it, well, with every video you will see what is the topics we're going to talk about. And you can leave us also your comments, and you can ask, and I'll answer you what I know, as a professional in the field. And let me tell you that I love real estate because you can make the difference. Really representing people is quite complex. There's lots of laws, lots of things, lots of details, and if for a client is really hard to be on top of everything. But you, as the agent, sometimes I'm saying like, if you like climbing, I'm like the Sherpas that do that go with the climbers there at their side all the time, helping and the expert in the thing. And when you do it good, they're happy, and if you do make a mistake or something not so good, you feel it as well, and that's important. That's you're that feels them make your difference. You're making the difference. So, well, that's all. Thanks for watching, and hope to see you in the next video. Bye.
Take care.